The galaxy was quiet, peaceful, and full of life. For centuries the Galactic Empire had kept order. Trade routes were safe, and the stars shone like a calm ocean. People lived without fear, and rulers believed that nothing could threaten their vast domain. But on a cold morning in the outer systems, alarms suddenly blared across the Empire's star maps. Sensors had detected a strange object moving at impossible speed. No ship in their records could match it, and the readings were unlike anything scientists had ever seen. In the capital, high towers of glass and steel reflected the rising suns, and in the Emperor's war room, officials gathered in panic. Generals and strategists stared at the holographic display, their faces pale. No one could explain where the vessel came from, or why it had appeared now. "We have never seen technology like this," said Admiral Reth, pointing at the glowing object. Its hull shimmered with colors that seemed alive, and it moved without following normal space routes. It ignored gravitational pulls and appeared to slip through space as if it were part of another universe. Whispers spread among the crew, rumors of a weapon of unknown origin, a force that could destroy entire colonies, and merchants across the outer rings stopped their ships, fearing that the mysterious vessel might strike next. Meanwhile, on a small mining colony near the edges of the Empire, workers noticed the sky changing. A faint glow appeared behind the stars, and a strange hum filled the air. Animals ran wild, and machines stopped working for moments at a time, as if the universe itself was warning them. Commander Leora, in charge of the colony's defense unit, stared at the screens, her heart racing. "This is not a normal ship," she said. "It is something else, something alive, maybe dangerous," and she ordered all ships in the colony to prepare for possible attack. Back in the Empire's capital, the Emperor watched silently, his eyes cold. He had faced rebellions, pirates, and rival empires, but the fear in this room was different, deeper and heavier, and for the first time, he wondered if the galaxy's age of peace had come to an end. In distant star lanes, traders reported strange phenomena. Stars flickered unnaturally, energy bursts disrupted communications, and in one system a whole fleet of cargo ships vanished, leaving only empty signals behind. Fear spread faster than light itself. The mysterious vessel continued its journey, moving from system to system without warning, leaving the galaxy guessing its purpose. No message, no signal, only chaos in its wake. And everywhere it went, colonies braced for an attack they could not understand. Admiral Reth convened an emergency council. "We need scouts. We need information. We cannot face this blindly," he said. But even his voice trembled slightly. The Empire had faced threats before, but never something so unknown, so alien. As night fell on the capital world, citizens looked up at the sky, noticing streaks of light, unusual stars, and whispered about the ship that no one could see clearly. Stories began to form, tales of destruction and fear, and legends of a force that might change the galaxy forever. The mysterious vessel was coming closer, and the galaxy held its breath, for none knew what it wanted, for none knew if it was friend or enemy. But one thing was certain: the Empire's era of control had just been challenged, and the story of survival, courage, and mystery was about to begin. The galaxy was tense. Whispers of fear traveled faster than ships, and no one knew where the mysterious vessel would strike next. Colonies held emergency meetings, and fleets prepared for a battle they could not imagine. On the edge of the Heleron sector, a small trade hub buzzed with activity. Merchants unloaded goods, starships docked, and workers moved quickly, unaware of the shadow moving silently above their heads. Then, without warning, the sky lit up. A flash of strange energy exploded over the docks. Alarms screamed, and the hum of the mysterious vessel filled the air. People froze, staring at the ship. It was enormous, dark, and its hull seemed to shimmer like liquid metal. The vessel did not fire weapons in a normal way. Beams of unknown energy struck the landing pads. Cargo ships disintegrated mid-air, and explosions echoed through space. Debris floated like deadly stars, and the trade hub's defenses were helpless. Commander Leora, who had been monitoring nearby systems, ordered the local fleet to engage. "We cannot let it destroy everything," she shouted. But as her ships approached, the vessel moved too fast, dodging every attack as if it predicted their moves. Pilots panicked, some froze in fear, others tried risky maneuvers, but the mysterious ship seemed alive, twisting and turning with impossible speed. Its energy shield absorbed every laser and missile, leaving nothing but sparks in its wake. On the ground, civilians ran for shelters, children clung to parents, merchants prayed for mercy, and the colony's governor watched helplessly as his world burned. The Empire's symbols of power seemed useless against this unknown terror. Meanwhile, reports flooded the Empire's central command. Other colonies in the sector had similar experiences. Ships missing, strange energy signatures, panic spreading like wildfire. And the Emperor's advisors were divided. Some called for retreat, others for immediate attack. Admiral Reth studied the reports, his hands shaking slightly. "We have underestimated this," he said. "It is not just a ship, it is something else, something beyond our understanding." And the council agreed. Fear was creeping into their minds, even among the strongest strategists. In the middle of the chaos, Leora spotted something strange. The vessel paused for a moment over the main docking station. A faint pulse of light escaped from its hull, almost like a warning. Then it struck again, destroying the command tower and leaving a massive crater. The attack ended as suddenly as it began. The vessel vanished into deep space, leaving silence, smoke, and shattered lives behind. The colony was in ruins, ships destroyed, trade halted, and survivors whispered about the alien power that had spared no one. For the first time, the Empire realized that this threat was not just another rebel fleet, not another enemy empire. It was something unknown, unstoppable, and terrifying. And the galaxy understood the words whispered across all systems. The age of peace was over. Commander Leora, exhausted and scared, looked at the stars. "We survived today," she said, "but tomorrow may be worse." Her voice barely above a whisper. And somewhere in the darkness, the mysterious vessel moved again, planning its next strike, leaving fear, mystery, and chaos in its wake. The galaxy waited, silent and anxious, for the next moment when the unknown would return, and the Empire braced itself for a battle unlike anything it had ever faced. A battle that would test courage, skill, and the very spirit of humanity. The galaxy was on edge. News of the first strike spread like fire, and fear gripped every system. Scientists, spies, and strategists worked day and night, trying to understand the mysterious vessel. In the Empire's capital, laboratories buzzed with activity. Researchers examined energy readings, holograms displayed strange symbols, and every instrument pointed to one truth. The ship was unlike anything known. It was not built by humans, and no record of its design existed. Dr. Kalen, a leading scientist, stared at the holographic projection. "This technology, it does not obey our physics," he said, his voice trembling. "It moves as if space itself bends for it, and its energy is alive." Colleagues exchanged worried glances. No one had ever seen energy behave this way. Spies sent to nearby sectors reported strange phenomena, ships disappearing without trace, colonies reporting voices in the void, and sensors detecting faint pulses of unknown origin. Some suggested it was a weapon, others whispered about intelligence, something that thought and acted on its own. On a remote research station, Commander Leora and her team studied fragments of debris left from the first strike. Small pieces shimmered, shifting colors as if they were alive, and when scanned, they produced signals that no one could decode. Meanwhile, rumors spread among civilians and traders. Tales of glowing ships, strange lights, and whispers that the vessel was not just a destroyer. It was searching for something, or someone, and the galaxy began to ask questions no one had answers to. Admiral Reth convened another council. "We must understand its purpose before we act," he said. "Blind attacks will only make things worse." Generals nodded. Tension filled the room. The fear of the unknown weighed heavier than any enemy fleet. In the shadow of the outer systems, scouts finally caught glimpses of the vessel again. This time, it hovered silently near a cluster of asteroids. Energy pulses radiated from it, and for a moment, the scouts swore they saw structures on its surface, like towers or antennas, moving in patterns that felt intentional. Dr. Kalen analyzed the readings. "It is communicating," he said, "not with words, but with energy patterns. Maybe it is trying to send a message." The idea terrified the council. A ship that could think, learn, and act alone, and that could decide the fate of entire systems. In the meantime, small colonies experimented with signals, sending lights, sounds, and energy pulses into space, hoping for a response. And sometimes, the vessel reacted, shifting its path slightly, pausing as if curious, then moving again, its intentions still unclear. The galaxy waited anxiously. Debates raged. Some wanted diplomacy, others wanted destruction, and everyone feared the unknown intelligence behind the vessel. Questions multiplied faster than answers, and the Empire realized they were dealing with something that could not be fought like a normal war. Commander Leora watched the stars from her ship's bridge. "It is testing us," she whispered, "learning us," and she felt a shiver run down her spine, for she knew that understanding the vessel was the only way to survive. Yet every moment wasted could cost more lives. The mysterious vessel remained silent, yet alive, leaving the galaxy in suspense, and as scientists, spies, and strategists struggled to uncover its secrets, the next encounter promised to be more dangerous, more revealing, and more terrifying than the last. The galaxy held its breath. Fear still lingered after the vessel's mysterious attacks, but the Empire refused to wait any longer. Fleets were mobilized, ships armed with the strongest weapons prepared for the first direct confrontation. Commander Leora stood on the bridge of her flagship, eyes fixed on the stars. Her heart pounded. "This is our chance," she said. "We must strike smart, not blindly." Pilots around her adjusted their suits, checked weapons, and steeled themselves for the unknown. Admiral Reth led the fleet, vast numbers of ships moving in precise formations. But even with their numbers, the officers worried. The mysterious vessel had already shown it could outmaneuver every attack. Every strategy seemed too simple, too predictable. As the fleet approached the outer sector where the vessel had been spotted last, sensors picked up strange energy distortions. Space seemed to ripple around it, and communication signals flickered, creating panic and doubt among the pilots. Suddenly, the vessel appeared, massive and glowing, moving like it knew every move of the Empire's fleet. It unleashed energy pulses. Shields of several ships collapsed instantly. Explosions lit the void like deadly fireworks, and debris floated silently between stars. Leora commanded her pilots, "Focus fire on the edges. Keep moving. Do not panic." But the vessel twisted, dodged, and absorbed their attacks, its energy shield shimmering with strange colors, as if feeding on the Empire's weapons. On the ground, colonies watched the battle through long-range sensors. People held their breath, children clutched parents' hands, and traders prayed silently. The fate of the sector seemed uncertain, and hope rested only on human courage and skill. Dr. Kalen and his team worked frantically from orbit, sending calculations and strategies to the fleet. "It reacts to our energy patterns," he shouted. "We must change tactics, be unpredictable." And Leora adjusted formations, using decoys and unexpected maneuvers. Fighters darted like swarms of stars, lasers and missiles streaked through space, and small skirmishes erupted near asteroids. The vessel countered each move, yet some attacks began to have effect. Tiny cracks appeared in its shields, a sign that it was not invincible. Moments of courage and brilliance shone. Pilots risked everything to get closer. Engineers patched ships mid-flight, and Leora guided her team with calm precision, showing that, even against an unknown terror, human skill and determination could fight back. But just as hope seemed possible, the vessel vanished, slipping through a rip in space as if it had never been there, leaving the fleet in stunned silence. Victory had not been claimed, but survival had been earned, and the message was clear: the enemy was intelligent, adaptable, and still in control. Admiral Reth gathered the council. "We have seen its power, and we have seen our own," he said. "The fight is not over, but humanity is not powerless." Courage sparked across the galaxy, and the HFY spirit of ingenuity and resilience burned brighter than fear. Leora stared at the empty space where the vessel had vanished. "It is learning," she said quietly. "We have to be ready for the next time." And somewhere in the darkness, the mysterious ship moved again, plotting, observing, leaving the Empire and the galaxy in suspense once more. The galaxy waited, tense and anxious. After the last encounter with the mysterious vessel, fleets patrolled star lanes, colonies reinforced defenses, and every system held its breath. Commander Leora studied the reports. Fragments recovered from previous attacks shimmered with strange energy. Pulses of light danced across her screens, and she realized that the vessel was not just a weapon. It was alive in a way no one could understand. Dr. Kalen entered the bridge, his face pale but determined. "We have decoded part of its energy signals," he said. "It is intelligent, but it is also searching, not just destroying. Something in the galaxy has drawn it here." Leora's eyes widened. "Searching?" she asked. "Then maybe we can communicate." The Emperor convened his council. Tension thick in the air. "If it is intelligent, then diplomacy may work," he said. but we must be careful. One wrong move could destroy everything. Advisors argued, some wanting attack, others cautious. The debate reflected the fear and hope in equal measure. Meanwhile, scouts traced the vessel to a distant nebula, glowing with strange lights and swirling gases. The ship hovered there, pulsing as if alive, and when human sensors scanned it, patterns emerged, like a message or a map, leading to a hidden star system. Leora volunteered to lead a small fleet to investigate. We must face it, not blindly, but with knowledge, she said, and the pilots prepared, hearts pounding with fear and courage, knowing this might decide the galaxy's future. As they approached the nebula, the vessel revealed its purpose. Beams of light formed shapes in space, symbols that human minds could barely comprehend. And then a vision appeared in the minds of the fleet, images of a dying civilization, vast knowledge, and a warning. It was not here to destroy, but to test, to learn, and to find worthy beings capable of surviving the galaxy's dangers. The vessel had destroyed some systems to understand limits, but it also gave chances, observing, guiding, and revealing truths about the universe. Leora felt awe and fear together. It is a teacher, not just a destroyer, she whispered, and the fleet understood the vessel challenged civilizations to see courage, intelligence, and resilience, a test of spirit, of humanity itself. Back in the Empire, the Emperor addressed the galaxy. We have faced the unknown, and we have survived, he said. The vessel has tested us, and now it shows the way forward. People across the stars celebrated, but fear remained, for the galaxy knew more challenges would come. The vessel departed, leaving behind fragments of knowledge, new technologies, and a map to distant systems filled with wonders and dangers. Colonies rebuilt, fleets trained harder, and humans prepared, stronger than before. Inspired by the challenge, Commander Leora watched the stars. We have learned, she said. We are ready for whatever comes next. The galaxy had faced a test unlike any before, and humanity had proven its courage, intelligence, and resilience. A true HFY moment. In the silence after the revelation, one truth remained clear. The galaxy was vast, mysterious, and full of danger, but human spirit, ingenuity, and bravery could face anything, and the story of the mysterious vessel would be remembered forever. The unknown ship vanished into the cosmos, leaving the galaxy changed, stronger, and ready. The test was over, but the legend had just begun, and the stars held secrets waiting for the next generation of heroes.